Hey guys, happy December. It is time for my WIP update where I show you what I worked on in the last month. I'm going to try and keep this one short because I only worked on half of my WIPs last month. I did start something new, but we're going to try and keep it short because I got lots to do and you got lots to do. It's December. So the WIP that I spent most of the month working on was my Mirabilia. I did not work on Quaker Game Board at all. And I did not work on my chatelaine at all. And I didn't even bring them down here because they look exactly the same as the last time you saw them. My Mirabilia though, I managed to finish all of the stitching and the back stitching. And I mentioned this in my vlog, which should already be up by now, but I totally forgot about backstitching on this project. I just had it in my head I was going to stitch it, finish the stitching, and then leave the beads, and then I forgot I had to do all the stupid backstitching. It did come out really nicely though, I think. I like these little like curly Q bits on her like headdress. That's her face. I did make a couple of changes to her face, which I showed on my Instagram. I just gave her a couple of extra eyelashes and I turned her lip up a little bit at the corner. So it kind of looks like she's smirking now, which I like. Someone on Instagram, I think it was maybe Olivia, said she looked sassy. Totally what I was going for. I wanted her to be like, I have a magic wand. And that's what she looks like. I really like the backstitching in her wings. This is 2 strands, whereas everything else on her face pretty much and her headdress was just 1 strand. And this was actually pretty easy backstitching because it's a lot of long lines and they kind of start and end in places that make sense as far as the colors on the wings go. I'm never not going to be able to see this face now. This like womp womp face in her wing, but oh well. Yeah, not a lot of backstitching on this actually. The wings I left until like kind of the last day and it didn't actually take me that long. The skin is 2 strands, which I thought was kind of interesting. Maybe in hindsight I would have done that in 1 strand, but I think it looks okay. And yeah, I'm ready for a break from this, I think. She is completely done except for beads, and I'm gonna wait until the new year to put the beads on her. Because oh, and here's the wand. I don't know if you can see that. I am starting Angel of Love tomorrow on December 1st with Emily, if you didn't start it already. And you have to bead as you go, I think, on that project. So I'm just gonna start that one and enjoy that and then come back to this one in January. I haven't actually looked at the pattern for Angel of Love yet. I think I'm going to highlight all of the beads because I really don't want to bead as I go, but I think I have to. I talked to Tracy about it and she implied it would be very, very difficult if I didn't, but I'm a troublemaker, so I might try to. The other WIP I worked on this month, just for a little bit, was peacock pinwheels. I didn't get a chance to work on this one last month, and oh, I left my needle in it. What the heck? Oh, I see what's happened. Okay. So this is what I have done on peacock pinwheels. Excuse my needle that is still in there. Although it dawned on me, I started something new on the weekend, which I will show you. And when I was looking for my 28, which I didn't need because the project isn't small enough to, like, it's not fine enough to use a 28, but I like using a 28, and I couldn't find it on my needle minder, and that's because it was still in this one. So I finished up this kind of circular area of peacocks, and then I went on to this pinky colored one, and that's where I stopped. I also put in a lot of these like letters. So like O, W, G, I think, 6, 9. Some of these are hard to read just because of the kind of script they're in, but I really did like working on this. Again, I can't seem to get both my one-on-one projects in 1 month. I don't know what that's about. Not enough days in the month, maybe. I mentioned in my blog how I felt like I was stitching really slowly this month, and that was probably because of a lot of things, but I think having a couple new starts will like inject my rotation a little bit with some fresh air. So the only 2 sections left on peacock pinwheels I think are relatively big ones like this and like this, oops, this one up here with the like turquoise colored ones. So there's 2 more, I think, big like bunches of symmetrical peacocks all in one color. So I'm probably gonna save this until I get really sick of beading on Angel of Love probably, and then I'll come back to this because it's gonna feel a little bit simpler. So the last thing I have to show you is a new start, and it is on my Q-snap. If you watched that video, you will know that I attempted my Q-snap this last weekend to start a stitch along with Sarah. Hi Sarah. We both chose to do a pattern from the same Etsy shop. We each picked different patterns, but same shop. And that shop is Hardcore StitchCorps. I will link that down below. This is the one I picked. It's like a row of book spines. And then it says, books are both our luxuries and our daily bread. And I'm doing this on 18 count oatmeal Aida. Look guys, it's on a frame! Ah, crazy. I really like it, P.S. I'll talk about that more in a second. So I finished this one book, mostly, but I'll talk about that in a second too. And I almost finished the kind of the background filling pattern on this second book. They're both really light colors though, so hopefully you can see that a little bit. So originally in the pattern, there are 3 colors in each book. There's the outline color, there's what I've put in here, which is considered like the filling color, and then there's the pattern color, which is what's not in here yet. And they suggest that you do the background in half stitches in order to let the actual pattern on the book spine pop. And what I'm going to do, I did these all in full stitches, and I think I'm going to use metallic as the actual pattern. So I'm probably going to wait until the end to put the main patterns in, just because I haven't decided if I'm going to try and pick different color krennics that will complement each book, or just pick one krennic, like that beautiful one I bought not too long ago that I didn't have a use for. It was like, I can't remember the name of it now, like Helio something. It was like a really cool amalgamation of a bunch of metallic colors. I might just use that and put it in all of them so they all have a little bit of shine. But I haven't figured that out yet. And actually there's a lot more stitching than I thought. Like there's a lot of blank space here. So it is going to use up a lot of krennic. So I might have to use one per book. But I'm going to leave that until the end. So the frame, I've stitched on this for 2 days. And I really like it. I have moved the frame since my Q-snap video. So thank you so much. I got a lot of suggestions on how to move the covers. And also one very helpful actual like demonstration on Instagram. So thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much. And yeah, I've been doing a combination of like sliding, if it's just on plain fabric, and using the fabric to pop it off. Still don't have any stitches underneath them though. That is still gonna worry me, but I should be able to get this kind of half of the bookshelf in this section, and then when I move it back, I'll probably just put a piece of felt or something underneath because I am a worrywart. I think a lot of the reason why I like this is because this particular frame is small. It's small enough that I can still hold it and keep a hand on the back of it, which I like. I really do like the tension. I'm not used to having fabric so tight when I'm stitching on it, but it does make it a little bit easier. I think in the future, if I wanted to not stitch in hand, I would either use this size of a frame, the 8x8, or I would use a hoop. I can't really see myself going any bigger than this just because if I keep it at this size, then I can still kind of stay true to my preferred method, which is to keep a hand on the back. And if the frames get bigger and bigger, then I can't really do that as much anymore. But it is really awesome to have this option. So I never thought I would see the day. I thought I was going to be the in-hand stitcher for my whole life. But This has been really fun and interesting. That is all I have for WIP progress, but I have a little video to tack on to the end of this one here about Dorianne. I talked about her on the weekend, and I'm happy to say that she is heading toward a new home, but a couple people wanted to see her before she left, so I will insert that footage here. Hey guys, so this is just a quick video to talk about Dorianne. I mentioned in my last video that I'm definitely never gonna put any more work in on her, and I said I was maybe gonna throw her out, but I'm happy to say that she is going to live in a new home with Linda. Thank you, Linda, who is gonna show her a lot more love than I have been. But before I package her up and send her off, I thought I would show you because a couple people did want to see her. So this is Dorianne. This is as far as I got. You can see I started in the middle here and then just kind of worked my way to the edge and then all the way up. This is a pattern from BellaStitchery or BellaStitcheryDesign, I think, on Etsy. I'll link that down below if you want to have a look at the actual pattern. And so, as I said, this is the midpoint. So there's still quite a bit of fabric here. And yeah, this is all I can do on Dorianne. I mentioned that I think my tastes have changed a little bit, and kind of what I'm stitching for has changed a little bit, and this just doesn't quite fit anymore. So I'm happy to say that, yeah, she's going off to a new home. Melanie just started a group on Facebook not too long ago for situations like this. It's called Adopt a WIP, and I'll put that down below too. I didn't go through that Facebook group, although I very easily could have. I was just lucky enough to have Linda leave a comment and then contact me. But if you have some old WIPs that you're thinking should probably get a little more love in another home, check out Melanie's Facebook group. I'll link that down below. And that's it. I am sending Dorianne off today, actually. I have to pick something up at the post office anyways, because 'tis the season to make the post office work really hard. I think December is going to be crazy. I really want to keep working on this. I am starting Angel of Love tomorrow, and I might just go crazy over that. And also, I didn't really mention this, but I do have some Christmas stuff coming. I decided not to do ornaments or cards this year. I left everything too late, and I just found that the ornaments I wanted to do were going to be kind of expensive, so I just decided to not do anything this year. I did order a couple of Mill Hill ornament kits to do for my mom. I did some for her last year. And 2 of the big 7-inch wooden sled pieces to do for my mom also. So I'm not doing cards or ornaments for like family and friends, but I do have some stuff to stitch up for my mom before Christmas time. So I will show that when it comes, obviously. And yeah, December is going to be jam-packed. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see a little bit more of my stitching from last month, feel free to have a look at my stitching vlog. It will be right where my finger is pointing right now on a card. It's just a little bit of more of an in-depth look at my like day-to-day stitching. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.